All right, y'all, what's going on? It's Combo Breaker 99. I am back with another post-fight analysis video. All right, y'all. All right, so Liz Carmouche, she scores a TKO victory over the former champion Juliana Velasquez to capture the flyweight belt. And it was a weird stoppage. Let's go ahead and get that out of the way. It was kind of a weird stoppage. I mean, for an experienced referee like Beltran, I was thinking that, he would have gave her more chances, which I'll talk about here towards the end of the video. But before I go into that, let me just say this turned out to be an entertaining fight. I mean, for the most part, Liz Carmouche, she kind of switched up her style here. She was putting pressure on Juliana Velasquez. I think she really watched tape on Juliana Velasquez, and she really did her research to say, okay, this is what I got to do. I got to press the fight. I got to look for openings and take chances. Now, overall, to me, Juliana Velasquez, she was doing much better on the feet, but Liz Carmouche was making her work. She was making her have to work harder than she has in the past. She was putting pressure on her with good leg kicks, putting her own combinations down the pipe. But it was Juliana Velasquez that was landing much cleaner, showcasing the power, accuracy. For the most part, in the clinch, she was having some success, but it was Liz Carmouche all the way. And that's what I said. Liz Carmouche, she's either going to have to land the combinations and use pressure, or she's going to have to be all the way on the inside using her strength. Because, when it came down to it, I was like, okay, Liz Carmouche, she's a big flyweight. She's fight at 135, same height, maybe like an inch shorter than Juliana Velasquez. And physically, she's strong. That's why I was always wondering in the past, like, when she fought fighters like, Valentina Shevchenko, why didn't she go ahead and take chances like this? Like, honestly, this is what I wanted to see her do against Valentina Shevchenko. Open up and take chances, like with multiple leg kicks. Like, I know Valentina's another fighter, but maybe if you would have opened up and pulled the trigger more, opportunities like this would have opened up, because they definitely opened up here whenever she was able to go on the inside, shut down the work rate, and get Juliana Velasquez uncomfortable. I mean, for the most part, I know the judges had it, two judges had it 3-0 leading up to, going into the in that fourth round. And one had it 2-1, 29-28. Two had it 30-27, right? So it was good. It was turning out to be a competitive fight. And it could have definitely turned around in that fourth round and then going into the fifth. But, I mean, the referee, he saw fit to stop it. And I just kind of thought that was weird after, there's just a few unanswered elbows there. But let's go back and look at the fight real quick. I mean, the first round, Liz Carmouche made it competitive. It was a close first round. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I gave it to Juliana Velasquez, but I could have seen Liz Carmouche winning that first round because of the pressure and the multiple leg kicks. Like I said, doubling leg kicks up, backing Juliana Velasquez up. But it was Juliana Velasquez that was putting straight left hands right on the chin. She was setting up nice, beautiful, straight left hands, jabbing to the head, jabbing to the body, and just fighting well off the back foot. She wasn't really running, but she was still landing the more accurate shots. So when I looked at the much more precise work, it was Juliana Velasquez, and landing beautiful shots. Even like in the instant replays, you can see some of the Liz Carmouche shots landing. They were clean, but they didn't do as much damage. So I gave the first round to Juliana Velasquez. Second round, Velasquez scored a good knockdown too. She scored a knockdown the opening minute of the round. Carmouche, she started to come back a little bit with her clinch work. She did get a takedown towards, like, I want to say it was towards was it mid part of the round, and Velasquez was getting in more knees as they were on the feet. She was getting in more knees on the stand-up. It started to look a little bit tight here, but I think Velasquez, she won this round as well with the takedown. I mean, with the knockdown and the much better stand-up. Carmouche did get a takedown. I think it was towards the end of the round now I think about it. But she just didn't get much done with it. So I gave both of those rounds to Velasquez. Third round went to Velasquez as well. Good left hand set up by her jab, and, she was jabbing to the body well. She was landing those check right hooks as well, shifting angles, using some nice technique here on her feet. Carmouche was still landing her leg kicks, though. She was still in it, smacking with those leg kicks. Takedown with less than a minute to go again. Not much work here. Velasquez, she was working off the back, so it was another Velasquez round. Good jabs to the body, like I said, and just really, like, shifting, using good head movement and punching with both hands. Like I said, taking a step back, landing her check right hook, and straight left hands. I think it was in the fourth round, there was another knockdown for Velasquez. It was kind of off balance, but it was another knockdown. They clinched up a little bit here. Carmouche started to slow down. She started to slow down this round as far as her stand-up. That's why she started clinching up more, trying to get more work in here. But Velasquez still bombing her with those 1-2s, bombing 1-2s when they separate. So again, Carmouche, she goes in, gets a takedown, and this is where it starts to go in her favor. You know, she gets the takedown, which I always say, you know, Liz Carmouche, this is her game. You know, when I say keys to victory, going inside like this, if she can't strike with Velasquez, take her down, and it started to play in her favor. When she puts that weight on her and she really starts to put that strength on Velasquez, she does slow down. So she slows her down, she gets that crucifix. You know, she starts putting her in that position. She gets her knee on top of the right arm. She pins that right wrist of Velasquez. And now the left hand you can't really see because it's against the cage, and Velasquez is kind of pinned up here. And then all of a sudden you see towards the end of that round, like 25 seconds left, then coming on down to 15 seconds, you start seeing Liz Carmouche bombing with these elbows, right? Now she's just dropping elbows and forearms, and it looks like they're vicious, but maybe 2 or 3 of them land, and then there's like fourth and the fifth, they kind of scrape by on the head of Velasquez. Velasquez still looks clear-eyed now. She still looks clear-eyed, and, you know, she's still trying. You know, she's struggling, but she's trying here, you know, with 14 seconds left. 14 seconds pop up. Mike Beltran steps in and stops. And I was like, whoa. I was just as shocked as the champion. I'm for real. Like, that was my reaction. Like, when I saw 4 or 5 elbows coming down, I was like, uh-oh. I was like, uh-oh. But, you know, then I looked at Velasquez's face. I was like, okay, she should be good here. And the ref, it should be on his part. This is why I say look, too, about referees. Like, good referees, you know, I'm not saying Mike Beltran like this awful referee, but a good referee, I think, in a championship fight, they should start giving that fighter that warning, that champion that warning. They should ask that question. You know, when you under, like, a lot of pressure, they should ask, like, are you good? I'm about to stop it. And, you know, sometimes these fighters give that little thumbs up or they look that way. Of course, she can't because she's in the middle of the fight, or they should just be throwing those words out so they can hear it. Like, I might stop this fight here because you ain't answering back, right? So you should give that champion that warning. That's how I felt about it. You shouldn't just jump right in and say, that's it, especially when you right there and you can see her clear-eyed and she's not really, like, taking these bomb shots, and she's not incoherent. You know what I mean? Like, she's still wide open. Velasquez was wide open. Like, these shots didn't open up any gashes. She took maybe 3 or 4 hard ones, but she was still moving. She was still trying to get out. She wasn't completely pinned down in the crucifix like Jessica Andrade was, you know, where she was taking multiple damaging blows. But just the way Velasquez was shifting her head and shifting her weight, I think she was rolling with a lot of these shots. Because I've seen this in boxing too before, when a guy's on the ropes, you know, as long as his guard is up and he's rolling, you know, he might get hit with a couple of these shots, but he's rolling, taking a lot of the steam off these shots. Some are hitting his mitts. Some are, you know, hitting him, but he's rolling with the shots, and he might let 10 shots go. He might like 10 shots connect, but if it's all on his guard and he's rolling with them, you got to let the fight go on. Now, if he takes like 5, 6 unanswered shots and he ain't doing anything, and I mean, they're knocking his head back and they're clean, accurate shots, then you step in and stop it. That's how I saw it, because I saw this fight starting to go in Liz Carmouche's favor at the end of the 4th round. Of course, she won the 4th round, but it was getting competitive here, and I thought Juliana Velasquez was fine. I thought she was ready. I mean, when she got up, you saw that she was still in the fight. You know, she was still in the fight. It's just one of those things, man. When this is a championship fight, you got to give that person the chance. That's how I feel about it. I mean, look, I know a lot of people disagree with most of the people that pick Liz Carmouche. Look, now, I didn't mind Liz Carmouche winning the fight if it was fair and square. Like, she started to come back in the 4th. She came back and won the 5th. I'd be like, okay, I give her all the props in the world. And that's why I want to say, like, shout out to Liz Carmouche. Like, it wasn't on her. I think she did what she was supposed to do. You know, she did what she was supposed to do. She had the champion in a compromised situation, and that's what you're supposed to do. So she was doing everything right. I'm definitely not knocking her performance at all. You know, Liz Carmouche, she came to fight this time, and she didn't want to leave it in the hands of the judges, right? So with that, I think that he should have just let it play out and let her get the victory, you know, as she continued to put in that work. But yeah, she did what she was supposed to do. She was doing what she was supposed to do. But I just think that Mike Beltran, he didn't give the champion the full-on chance that she deserved. And like they always say, you know, they want to go out on their shield. Now, you don't want anybody to die in there, but you at least want her to say, okay, let her get every possible opportunity that she gets. And I don't think that Juliana Velasquez got that. But with that being said, I know sometimes, you know, like some people say, it can be a little crazy because, hey, Juliana Velasquez, She did get the victory over Denise Kielholtz. A lot of people think she won. And I was looking at the post-press fight conference with Liz Carmouche. Liz Carmouche said straight up, hey, I'm not going into an immediate rematch. She said, hey, it was a legit stoppage. I'm not doing an immediate rematch. Hey, that sounds familiar, right? Juliana Velasquez, she didn't want to give Denise Kielholtz an immediate rematch, right? So it kind of came right back on her. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. I'm just saying that at that point, I kind of thought about it. I was like, when I heard that interview, I was like, Liz Carmouche said, hey, it was legit, which it would be in her eyes, right? It was legit because she did what she was supposed to do. But she said, hey, I ain't giving her an immediate rematch, hey. So it is what it is at this point. We've seen worse things happen. This definitely rates up there as, a little bit more sour than some of these other like fights that we consider robberies out here, because this was a championship fight. And to me, when somebody's eating like 6, 7 clean elbows and they just look like they're done and their eyes are showing to quit and they're begging for you to stop it, it's like, okay, then we stop this championship fight. But here, 1, 2, 3, fourth elbow kind of skates by the head, it's almost just rubbing the scalp, and that fighter's still looking for a way out with 10 seconds left. Let it play out. Or if in that 10 seconds, now 10 more seconds, and it's still and more elbows and forearms start to land, then you stop it. I don't care. Yeah, but like with just the amount of seconds that he gave it and just the amount of elbows he did, I wouldn't have stopped it, because there's 2 angles now. Like instant replay, I think some people are calling like 10 elbows landed, but if you look, it's just 2 angle changes. Like the first 4 elbows land, then they do like a fade cut, transitional cut, and when you look at it again, those are the same elbows that are landing. Like, so it wasn't as many as people think. So when they do that cut in the instant replay in the slow motion, that was like the same position, same occurrence, but it was just a different angle, right? Yeah, that's all it was. So yeah, man, good competitive fight all around. My final thoughts. I could have seen it 2-2 if it would went into the 5th round. I would have had it 2-2, but I did have it 3-0 for Velasquez. Velasquez definitely needs to work on her wrestling a little bit more, her takedown defense. I think overall she was landing the better stand-up shots in the stand-up, good 1-2s. She scored some good knockdowns here. Liz Carmouche definitely amped her game up here and showed that, look, I'm coming to fight this time. I'm not leaving it in the hands of the judges. And yeah, still some holes in her game there, but hey, that's what it takes sometimes to get the opportunities you want. You have to, you have to sacrifice getting hit maybe 1 or 2 times to get off a few of your shots or get your style going, right? From here, Liz Carmouche, I hope she fights the Denise Kielholtz versus Kanana Watanabe winner. That's a good fight, since she doesn't want to give an immediate rematch, and I'm not screaming for an immediate rematch either right now, because, yeah, like Velasquez, she didn't get her immediate rematch. And, I'm all about a rematch if the fight is close or a robbery or, BS calls on the referee, you know what I mean? So I definitely want to see her run it back, because it was at some point, it was a good fight. But, it's in the champ's hands and she don't want to do it right now. So that's cool with me, guys. Let me know in the comment section what y'all thought. Legit stoppage, like I said, I don't think it was. I really don't think it was, just because of that angle. We'll talk more about it later, guys. What do y'all think? Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.